the first image was looking out our windows, and I just could not believe the damage. Nobody was expecting this. Once it got daylight, looking outside, seeing the destruction, riding around town and seeing, just how many places were hit so hard.
Just checking in on everybody daily. Everybody was helping each other. My neighbors were great.
I know that everybody's really anxious to try to get back to normal while all this stuff is still going on. But I think Football Friday night will be good for a lot of communities around here.
I think it's big for both communities. Harlem, Appling area got hit just as hard, if not harder than ours did. So I think it's going to be a really big crowd, two great communities.
I told our guys on Monday that with everything going on, with all the trees down, some people still not having power, I'm fully confident that our community is going to pack this place out because they want to come see those guys play. They want to get back to normal like everybody else. So really, I just know that it's just a good step forward.
Welcome to Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And now, your hosts, John Hart and Ashley Brown.
And wherever you are watching, however you are watching, we are glad you're with us, and we are glad that you are watching. John Hart joined as always by Ashley Brown. Nathan Edwards, our statistician, will join us momentarily. Kira Goldstein has lots of stories to tell from the sidelines this evening. But we'll start with this matchup, which welcomes us back to football and hopefully some sense of normalcy for all of us who have been through such an abnormal couple of weeks as any of us can remember. So AB, let's talk about Aquinas and Harlem. And these two teams have become rivals over the years, but this is different. Now it's a region matchup.
Yeah, no doubt. And, man, real quick, so glad to be doing football again.
100%.
A little bit of normalcy for us, for the guys. It's great.
Everybody.
This game last year was a war, 47-42. Harlem has won 3 in a row, but they've all been really close. This is become one of the better rivalry games in the area, no question about it. And we've got an undefeated Harlem team and an Aquinas team that's trying to get healthy. They've got several key guys back off injury. We should have ourselves a great one tonight.
And with that, down to the field for the coin toss.
Anybody got any questions? Okay, because we're on TV tonight, we'll have a couple of extra timeouts, so, bear with us. Who's going to call my coin? 7, you're going to call it. Now, look, because of what's been going on the last 2 weeks, this is the National Guard coin. We'll honor the National Guard guys. He's ahead. That flag's a tail. That's a tail. The National Guard guy's ahead. What are you calling?
Tails.
Tails. It's going to hit the ground. And it came up ahead. Okay. You want to choose in the second half?
Defer, yes, sir.
Harlem's won the toss. They'll defer. You guys want the ball? Which goal do y'all want?
Kick away from the scoreboard.
You want to defend the scoreboard, so
Kick
you
away.
kick.
Yes,
You want to defend the scoreboard. Okay, turn your back to the scoreboard, and you guys are on this side facing them. And so Aquinas will get it on this end to start the game. Okay, guys, here we go. Let's have a good night.
So there you have it. Harlem wins the coin toss and defers to the second half. Aquinas will get the ball first. And that brings us to AB's keys to the game.
Yeah, I think for the visitors from Aquinas, balanced offense. Last year they tried to get pass happy in this game. Earlier in the year we saw them running it. I think balance is the key, sustained drives. And don't give Harlem time to throw the football. Make them one-dimensional, and I think they can do that tonight. And if they do, they can pull off the upset. For Harlem, don't let Jaden Worth disrupt their offense. He is a one-man wrecking crew. He's only a sophomore. He led the state in sacks last year as a freshman. And then protect the football and win the turnover battle. And I think if they do those things, Harlem's going to be really tough to beat. This is a good Harlem squad, 2 well-coached teams.
And there you see the Harlem Bulldogs 4-0 on the season, 2-0 in Region 4 AAA. And here come the Aquinas Fighting Irish, 2-2, 1-1 in 4 AAA. And here are the Dogs. They will kick the ball to the Irish. That's next on Game Night Live. 33rd meeting between Aquinas and Harlem. The Bulldogs with the all-time series lead, 24-8. And it was Harlem winning a shootout last year, 47-42. These two teams first met way back in 1970.
Yeah, kind of fitting tonight that Will Holder will be getting us cranked up. We'll certainly be hearing his name tonight.
Yeah, very special moment, ceremony at halftime. We'll get to that as we get going. And speaking of getting going, off we go to resume the 2024 season.
Watkins, the returning.
And Watkins on the return for Aquinas. And a nice open field tackle.
That's number 7.
And Taji Hale, the first man down the field for Harlem. And Aquinas will start at the 18-yard line.
Terrific coverage and open field tackle by Hale. That was outstanding. Just about the perfect coverage you can have on a kick return there.
63 brisk degrees at kickoff, AB.
This is football weather,
yes.
Man. This is perfect.
Inject this into my veins.
We should have ourselves a great game. Like I said, two well-coached teams, a very experienced quarterback for Aquinas, a swarming defense for Harlem. Should be fun.
From the 18. And it's Christian Cates, who is the favored ball carrier for the Irish, 325 yards. Averages 7 a carry, so he can carry the rock for the Irish, but he's this time stopped after a 4-yard gain, or a 2-yard loss, I should say.
Yeah, had a big game, over 160 yards and a touchdown in our matchup we had with Aquinas and Hepzibah a few weeks back.
So Harlem up to the task on first down. Aquinas coached by James Leonard, 98-37 in his 12th season already at Aquinas.
Hard to believe that he's one of the elder statesmen now.
How time flies. And what a career he has had at Aquinas. As this one will get across the 20 up to about the 22-yard line, bring up third and about 8. Cates again on the carry.
Good pursuit that time, although he didn't make the tackle. Baylor Davis came across the field quickly, and that's a name and a player to watch for Harlem. Number 1 in black. He did not play in the opening game we had with Harlem and Greenbrier, in which Harlem won in overtime. Baylor Davis, though, last year, it's kind of fitting tonight they're playing each other. He and Jaden Worth both had 129 tackles a year ago.
Yeah, second time we've had both of these teams on Game Night Live this year. Both a winner in their previous appearance. This one swung out to Jack Rhodes, the star receiver for Aquinas, but read well by Harlem, and number 40, Ollie Batten, who is one of the best tacklers on this Harlem defense, and that'll bring up a kicking situation for Aquinas.
Yeah, that's that swarming defense we're talking about that Harlem always seems to have here. And Jack Rhodes last year, over 50 catches, over 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns. So far this year in 4 games, the numbers are way down. The passing attack is way down for Aquinas, which is surprising because they have their star quarterback back this year.
Dogs came after the punt. It is a short punt. Might have gotten a piece of it. It's out of bounds at the 40, let's say the 40, he's still walking. 43-yard line.
They may have clipped that. They were certainly right on top of it. Harlem, great field position to start their first series with Giovanni Arroyo at quarterback. And he didn't start game 1 this year, but, man, he came in and played great in that game against Greenbrier. He was our McDonald's Offensive Player of the game. He's a dual threat. He can run it, but he can also throw it.
So this is a Harlem offense averaging 26 points a game. Actually, both of these teams averaging 26 a game, but Harlem only giving up 15 a game. That is the difference. And Arroyo to the air on first down, and a little bit too much. He was looking for Jaden Futrell,
Yeah, Futrell. I think Futrell is maybe the most underrated player in the entire CSRA. He is a big-time athlete, about 6'1", 6'2", can jump out of the gym in basketball, and they really think he's just finding out how good he can be in football this year. Leads the team in catches, yards, and touchdowns through the air.
Dogs work quickly and nothing doing on second down either.
Yeah, Malik Tyler on the carry, tackled by Hutchinson, and Eli Hutchinson's just a freshman. He is the younger brother of Caleb Hutchinson, who was recently named the Special Teams Player of the Week at Mercer. Started his career at Coastal Carolina, a former Westside Patriot, but I'm telling you, Eli's got a great future at Aquinas, a big-time player.
So Harlem, great field position to start this drive. Now 3rd and 9. Arroyo. And it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, a little too high for his target there.
Apparently that pass was intended for our Kira Goldstein on the sideline. Incomplete on that end as well.
Well, if it hit, she said she got hit in the arm. If it hit her, she got to catch it, right? I mean, come on.
Got to make that play.
Kira currently headed to the medical tent. We'll check in with her momentarily. First, Harlem will kick it away again. And Rhodes will let this one bounce inside the 5-yard line. Good kick. And Aquinas will be backed up inside its 5-yard line to start its second drive of the night.
Yeah, good kick, and just like they did on the kickoff, good coverage on the punt squad there for Harlem. Able to down that ball inside, just inside the 5-yard line.
Less than a minute off the clock on that drive for Harlem.
Both teams, it's like a fight. Teams kind of feeling their way, out, getting a little distance, trying to feeling
and
each other out.
It's been, we joked before this broadcast began, it seems like almost a brand new season. These teams have had 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
At least from game competition, so there'll be some rust.
Yeah, September 20th, their last game for both of these squads.
And some breathing room for the Irish up to the 14-yard line. Let's check in with Kira Goldstein for the first time.
Yeah, guys, when I got a chance to talk to Harlem head coach Mark Boyder, he said that one of the keys to this game, despite it being definitely a 4-quarter game, was that he wanted his offense to get started fast. He was wanting to extend those drives, and he really wanted his team to get some points up on the board on their first attempt. Now, obviously, that didn't happen. We're going to hope that they can get that going here in a little bit. As for an injury update for myself, I'm fine. Thanks so much.
Well, that's the most important piece of information right there. 2nd and 2 for the Irish. Oh!
Yeah. That's Baylor Davis.
And that's why we talked about him at the beginning of this broadcast. Goodness. That one almost took Kira out as well, by the way.
Yeah, that would have hurt a little bit more.
Franklin faked to the right, rolled to the left, and I think he thought he was going to beat Davis to the line, and then Davis turned on the speed. Baylor Davis is an exceptional athlete. Harlem missed him mightily in that first game, and they are happy to have him back in the middle of that defense.
So it leaves him still 2 yards shy. 3rd and 2.
Jaden Worth is in the backfield now. He is a big human, 6'3", about 250.
And again, Franklin on the keeper, and going to be well short, loss of about 3.
Yeah, they sort of tried to follow that side where they had Worth and just nowhere to go. Harlem all over things.
So a defensive struggle here early.
Yeah, Chris Arroyo on the tackle, Nathan tells me.
Does a little bit of everything for this Harlem team. The Arroyos do, I should say.
So far it's been a little bit of a defensive battle.
Loses about 3.
The key for Harlem is they're winning the field position battle. They should get great field position for a second straight time.
The returner standing at the 40-yard line.
Well,
and a pretty good return.
Not the kind of punch you want, a low liner right at the return man. It gave him plenty of time to run, get a nice run back here. Watch, just a low line drive, and the returner was able to even get it on the run.
And so Harlem will start this drive from the Aquinas 20-yard line.
Yeah, Joseph Clark on the return. Harlem's just quietly got out there to a 4-0 mark this year. You look at Harlem and West Side and Lakeside, some teams that are unbeaten on the season. Maybe not your usual suspects to be unbeaten this deep into the year.
Kind of fun, though, isn't it?
It is definitely fun.
The direct snap, good for a gain of 7.
Number 19, Christopher Jackson.
Austin, I should say Christopher Jackson on that direct snap. Kira mentioned Coach Mark Boyder of Harlem, 28-20 in his 5th season here in Harlem. 3 straight times he has taken them to the playoffs. That'll be just short of the first down. Mark him a yard shy. It'll bring up 3rd and a yard. If they make the playoffs again this year, it'll be the first time they've made the playoffs in 4 straight seasons.
Well,
amazing job he's done here. 2022 region champs and, of course, a 26 Harlem grad. Both head coaches tonight coaching their alma mater.
That's right. That's exactly what I was going to say. James Leonard, of course, in his 12th season. 2013 state championship unbeaten season in his first season as the head coach. And he has won 98 games, approaching that 100-win plateau.
And that's your coaches matchup, and that's a first down for Harlem by virtue of the penalty against Aquinas. First and goal, as it were, for the Bulldogs at the 6-yard line.
And Malik Tyler's going to get out of the backfield and get into the slot on the right. He's number 20, the leading rusher on this team. And they're going to throw it to him.
Oh, in and out of his hands.
And he had an easy lane to the end zone there, and I think that's what he saw, kind of looked up too quick and didn't look the ball in.
Tyler, 460 rushing yards this year.
They always seem to have that diminutive running back in the backfield, every single season. Back in the day.
And then there was Cam Garnett.
Then there was, I was going to say, back in the day they had big Cam Garnett. But other than that, it was A.J. Brown. They've had, Bird. They've had some little guys back there. Tyler, the latest.
Oh, nice defensive play by Darrell Gibson for Aquinas to keep that from being 6 for Harlem. Ronald Oliver, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Oliver, a great defensive back as well, but that one a little too hot for him to hang on to. And so far, Harlem hasn't been able to get the passing game going, but the field position battle they've dominated, and that's why they're knocking on the door here on 3rd down.
The 3rd and goal from the 6.
3rd and goal from the 6-yard line.
It's Tyler.
Number 20.
And he's to the 1, and now decision time for Mark Boyder.
I don't even think it's really a decision. I think if he had not gotten down to the 1 or 2, it is. But I think that close, and you're wanting to get a fast start, I think you got to go for it here.
4th and goal from the 2. No.
Well,
huge stop, Aquinas.
The one thing you can't do in that spot is hesitate. We talk about Le'Veon Bell hesitating at the line, and that's what Arroyo did. He sort of hesitated to get behind his blocker. It took time to develop, and Aquinas was able to jump in and make the play. Leading the way was number 14, Harrison Fitzgerald, who had a phenomenal game when we did the Hepsburg game. He was the McDonald's defensive player of the game in that one.
And again, a quick drive for Harlem that comes up empty. And Aquinas. Now, Harlem still, as you pointed out, AB, winning the field position battle, but so far, even on the scoreboard.
Yeah, these are the opportunities that you got to take advantage of. They've started in great field position, probably averaging somewhere in the 30s, and they haven't been able to capitalize.
From the 2 to the 3.
31-yard line is their average starting point, according to Nathan, and, they've come away empty on both possessions.
Yeah, great thing for Aquinas is you get the stop, but then you got the ball on the 2. They've had 3 possessions, the 18, the 5, and now the 2.
Yeah, wow.
Hey, but they gave him 3 yards on that run, so they're up to the 5-yard line.
Well, they're averaging about the 8-yard line starting position, so not ideal for sure.
It's Kate. And still nothing doing.
Yeah, this Harlem defense has been ready for everything Aquinas has thrown at them so far.
Aquinas averages 147 rushing yards a game. They run it 65% of their plays. And right now facing another 3rd and long, basically.
There's just been something lacking. I don't know if it's the offensive line being different. I don't know if it's chemistry, whatever. This is a team that last year threw 31 touchdown passes. Well, Leonard alone threw 31 touchdown passes. They just haven't been able to get it going in the air, in their passing game so far this year.
Line to gain is the 12. Franklin floats it out and just over the outstretched arms of Eli Hutchinson.
Yeah, that's the freshman. He's going to be a heck of an offense. Can play on both sides of the ball, better on defense, but effective on offense as well.
So stop me if you've heard this one. A punting situation.
And again, Harlem should get extremely good field position. The return man is standing at about the 35-yard line.
Good kick. Sends the return man back across midfield. Great Aquinas bounce. It will be returned. And
Harrison Fitzgerald.
Great tackle on the return. So what should have been great field position for Harlem allows Aquinas to flip the field a little bit. We'll take a timeout. 3:31 left in a scoreless first quarter.
All right, we want to say a special thank you to our local McDonald's owner-operators. Not only do they support us through the sponsorship, but this year they're also hosting fries for school supplies. They did that back in August. Great fundraiser. Visit your local McDonald's and order any a la carte fry, and they will donate back to your local schools. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Indeed.
TV timeout, where to be Harlem ball, 1st and 10.
So Harlem takes over at its own 36-yard line, maybe the 37, hard to tell from here. And Arroyo to the air again, and just a little touch off early in this game.
Yeah, he's been a little touch high on every throw so far. That's a situation where you just got to calm him down. It's a big game. They want to win, region contest, rivalry matchup. Game night lives here. They hadn't played in a few weeks, and you can see he's come out with a little bit of jitters. High on every throw thus far.
He has thrown for 270 yards this year, 5 scores. Has thrown 2 interceptions. But he has commanded this Bulldog offense, this high-powered Bulldog offense. It averages 26 a game. This time they'll keep it on the ground. And it works out well up to near midfield.
Yeah, great run there.
Venturius Holcomb, but hold everything. There is a flag down, and the Bulldogs are retreating.
Yeah, Holcomb is more of the speed back. Tyler's more of kind of your, rambles in the middle a little bit.
And that's what it looks like it will be.
That's a hold on the offense. We'll replay second down.
Spot foul. That'll back us up behind chains at about 2nd and 20.
Yeah, that helps Aquinas with that field position even more, this penalty.
And this time, Arroyo just had to get rid of it, being pressured.
Yeah, both defenses doing their job so far. That was number 19, Christopher Jackson.
You owe me a Coke or a Powerade.
Pressure pass intended for Tillery. Number 16, Jordan Locke.
So the Bulldogs, depending on your perspective, either going the right way or the wrong way. Wrong way if you're a Harlem fan, right way if you're an Aquinas fan. 3rd and 20. And Arroyo will fire again. And he had a guy with a step on the defense, and again, just one step too long.
Yeah, was trying to go to Ronald Oliver. No, actually, was that Oliver? Yeah,
it was Oliver, yeah. And another 3 and out for the Bulldogs.
And neither team able to get anything going offensively. You talk so much about the offenses going into this game, so many weapons, but the defenses have certainly stole the show so far.
Yeah, both teams have 13 yards each.
Wow. High kick. Good bounce for Harlem.
Touch the Aquinas player.
It is a live ball. The Irish get on it at the 31-yard line.
Lucky the Harlem team didn't see it hit him.
So Aquinas will take over after all of that with 2:55 left to play in what has been a brisk first quarter, but not a whole lot happening.
Recovered.
I don't know if coaches refer to their own 32 as great field position, but I think it's
right now. If
24 yards better than their average on the first 3 possessions.
It's going to be a false start, I believe.
Well, that good field position just got a little bit worse.
The down remains first.
Have we ever had a quarter where the teams had more penalty yards than actual offensive yards? Because we're getting in jeopardy of that happening.
Put Nathan on that.
I think it'd be that game many years ago. You had to do the game twice.
Glen Hills Cross Creek, where there was like 50 penalties.
Let's not put that in the atmosphere.
No.
All right, so 1st and 15 now for the Irish, and here we go. Little activity up to the 45-yard line, and a nice catch made by Jack Rhodes.
Yeah, that's what we're used to seeing. Jack Rhodes, the only player in the area last year with 1,000 yards receiving. And keep in mind, he's the backup quarterback. When he was a freshman, Franklin, the quarterback, was a sophomore. Franklin went down with an injury. Jack Rhodes came in and played the second half of the season and was spectacular at quarterback, completing 70% of his passes. He's a very good athlete. He had 16 touchdown receptions last year.
18 yards on the catch, and by far the biggest play of the night for the Irish up to the 45-yard line. And a fresh set of downs, and it'll be Cates now as they continue to try to get the run game going.
Christian Cates.
And he's up close to midfield.
Yeah, he dives forward for a few.
About a yard.
Aquinas, really these two teams are similar in the fact that for years they struggled, and you know, for Aquinas it's been about the last 15 or 16 years they've really become one of the better programs in the area, and for Harlem a little less than that, but still they've also, with Todd Booker and now Mark Boyer, become one of the better programs. And you know, getting used to winning. 2 years ago this Harlem team won 10 ball games for the first time in school history.
And again, trying to make the playoffs for the 4th straight season for the first time in school history. And the quarterback keeper's going nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere to go there. Baylor Davis and company getting the stop.
It's a brand new day, as you mentioned at the outset, for Aquinas, though. Moving up to AAA this year. They become a powerhouse in that Class A private division. But if they had stayed in that division this year, James Leonard told us before the season, they would have had to have traveled thousands of miles to Macon and South Georgia and places like that. But what's interesting about this, they get to play closer to home during the regular season, but then when you flip to the playoffs, I sounded like Jim Moore there. My voice cracked a little bit. When they go to the playoffs, and assuming they make the playoffs, as we'll have an Aquinas timeout and have time to talk about this a little bit, they then go into a separate bracket.
Yep.
So they wouldn't play the public schools of AAA in the playoffs. They would then revert to a private school AAA bracket.
Well, I do think it's great, though, that they're getting to play the local teams. You know, for a long time people said, well, how would they fare against this team or that team? We're used to seeing them play Lincoln County and Washington Wilkes in the Class A schools. So I think it's great that they're going to, you know, year in and year out, at least hopefully for a long time, get to play a lot of local teams.
Well, we've talked about Hurricane Helene and its effect on the high school football schedule and all of our lives, really. And one of the things here locally that they celebrate every year is the Oliver Hardy Festival, Harlem's favorite son. That was supposed to happen last weekend and obviously did not due to the hurricane. Oliver Hardy, born right here in Harlem on January 18th, 1892, made 107 films from 1926 to 1957 with Stan Laurel. And no festival this year. They'll be back and better than ever in 2025. But if you are interested in Oliver Hardy, they have a great museum on Louisville Street down here in downtown Harlem at the old Columbia Theater. And it is well worth your time if you can make it out to Harlem and visit during business hours one week. But just one of the things that was affected by the hurricane. And we're going to be telling you as we go along here in this broadcast how you can continue to help those who continue to need help, as many of us now have our power and water and things back on and can get to the store, but there are still many people who cannot and can use our help. So we'll get to that as we go along. And there you go. So scan that. If you have your phone handy, scan that QR code there on your screen. That's going to take you to our hurricane relief page at WJBF.com. We have a list of different places that you can donate to or ways you can volunteer. There's just a number of different things you can do to help out your neighbors. And so many people have already been doing that. And we're so thankful for them.
Yeah, that's the great thing that's come out of all this, watching all the local businesses and volunteers step up as Aquinas gets a touchdown
Jack
pass.
Rhodes in for 6.
I guess they heard me say the offense passing game hasn't been clicking this year. 3 big passes on that drive, 2 to Rhodes and 1 to Eli Hutchinson, but that one was the TD pass. Jack Rhodes, who had 16 a year ago, gets another one here in 2024.
42 yards.
Yeah,
Franklin to Rhodes.
He went up to the highest point and got it, and the defender fell down, and he easily waltzes into the end zone.
Well, that's what they were waiting for, is us to just get distracted by something else.
Yeah.
And Grant Miller is blocked on the point after. Let's send it back down to Kira real quick.
Guys, what we're seeing on the field right now is exactly what Aquinas head coach James Leonard talked about. He said that with 11 days off and not a to the hurricane, he was a little bit concerned about the start to this game. He said the team was going to need a little bit of time to warm up, but that he was confident that once they were warm, we were going to see a good bit of action, and he called it. That's exactly what we're seeing down here on the field.
All right, Kira, thanks. So 6-0. Irish strike first against the unbeaten Bulldogs.
Yeah, James Leonard threw it up, and I love Jack Rhodes going up to the highest point, grabbing that football out of the air.
James Leonard threw that one up?
Or Jim Franklin. Matter of fact, it's funny. When I was doing my game notes.
That would have been a heck of a trick play.
When I was doing my game notes, I literally wrote James Franklin instead of Jim Franklin for at quarterback.
So the final few seconds here of this first half. And wow, what a tackle by Eli Hutchinson on the return.
Yeah, the freshman making his presence felt. He had a catch for a first down on that last offensive drive, and there he makes a spectacular play on special teams.
Hutchinson's got the numbers on defense, leads the team with 35 tackles, 4 of them for loss, and 2 sacks, and you see why on the special teams.
Yeah, averaging 11.5 tackles a game, and you throw in getting Jaden Worth back and healthy now. Worth in his first 2 games was averaging 17.5 tackles a game, but missed a couple of games due to injury.
So it'll likely be the final snap of the first quarter, and it'll go for a couple. And that will bring us to the end of quarter number 1. Well, not a lot happened, and then it finished with a flourish, and we head to the second quarter. 6-0, Aquinas leads Harlem. As we observe Breast Cancer Awareness Month here at Harlem on Game Night Live, and you see at the bottom honoring cheer coach Jessica Arnold, one of the cheer coaches here at Harlem, and also one of our Team Georgia cheer coaches for Border Bowl this year, as she is recovering from breast cancer, and I continue to pray for her in her fight. The cheerleaders wearing all pink, many of the fans wearing pink, and her Harlem Bulldogs facing 3rd and 5 from their own 21-yard line. Arroyo will pick up the first down up to the 38-yard line. Joseph Clark on the receiving end for the Bulldogs, and a big first down, Hawk Law Group first down for Harlem.
Well, the Bulldogs would love to do exactly what Aquinas did, get an offensive drive going after just nothing to really show for their first several possessions.
Yeah, let's sneak in the QBs by the quarter, John. So that was the first completion for Arroyo. He just missed on a lot of passes. He was 0 for 7.
He'll complete one there, but paying the price for it on the receiving end for Harlem is Jordan Lott.
Yeah, Hutchinson with another hit. He's been all over the field, the freshman, looking really good.
Yeah, James Franklin was 5 of 6 for 82 yards and a touchdown in that first quarter.
And those are your QBs by the quarter, brought to you as always by Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware.
Yeah, for Arroyo, it's just a case of settling down. He, just been high, and you can see that he's just excited to be out there finally after several weeks off of real competition.
On 2nd and 6. And again, Aquinas just clogs up the line. I believe the first guy in there was Greg Doman.
Jordan Locke, number 25, on the tackle.
Big third down here for Harlem. I know it's early, but if you can pick up a first down here, you'll be right about midfield or even into Aquinas territory with a chance to maybe put some points on the board on this drive.
And again, Aquinas has not really had trouble scoring this year. It's been keeping everybody else from scoring, but so far so good. And, they're going to draw a flag here on 3rd down.
Yeah, Gibson with the hit on the Harlem receiver. It was number 4, Holcomb. Gibson with the hit. Let's see what the call is.
Dead ball foul.
The flag came out. It's number 4, Venturia's Holcomb.
Hey.
And the discussion continues amongst the officials.
Maybe defenseless receiver here?
Unsportsmanlike on Aquinas.
I'm assuming that's what it is, and I would imagine James Leonard's not pleased with that one.
Live, it looked like a normal hit.
Yeah.
I mean, of course the receiver didn't see him coming, but, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
The
Just let the guy catch the
Yeah,
ball?
exactly. Yeah, that one's – let's see the replay.
It might say he got
maybe the taunting, maybe?
Yeah, it could have been.
That's got to be.
Yeah, the flag came out after. Good call there, Nathan, because the flag came out after.
So it wasn't on the hit itself.
Yeah, Gibson with a nice hit.
It was on R.J. Evans.
So James Leonard will be mad, but he won't be mad at the officiating crew. He's going to be mad at his team when he watches that rebroadcast.
And a big penalty benefits Harlem. So the Bulldogs from their 41 of Aquinas now.
That was Tyler on the catch.
Number 20.
Zion Allen made the play. And by the way, Zion Allen had last time we did the Aquinas game, we gave credit for the hit of the game to Kirsten Brinson. It was actually Zion Allen. And so apologies, Zion. Glad to see you make a hit there too.
Glad we can get it right.
Yeah.
Tyler trying to get to the edge. Can't do it. And it'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
That's the one thing social media has changed. He and I were able to kind of go back and forth a little bit this week, and I wished him luck. I love that some of the kids keep up with it, and they watch the games, and they keep up with their stats and all that good stuff. We didn't used to have that back in the day, so it's, I'm sure, fun for them to be able to do that.
Another 3rd down conversion attempt by the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
And it looks like they got it.
If Ronald Oliver is one of the officials, they definitely got it because he was the first person to signal definitely a first down.
So a Hawk Law Group first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Harlem wearing the all black tonight, red helmets.
And this is turning into a nice little drive for the Bulldogs. Little misdirection, and Aquinas not fooled. Arroyo kept through the middle.
Yeah, Jaden Worth finally getting to call his name out. Last year as a freshman, Jaden Worth had 129 tackles and 14 quarterback sacks. Again, as a 9th grader, he's already getting looks from big programs like Miami and others, and he's only a 10th grader. Super strength, a freak in the weight room, and he can get after the quarterback.
On the pitch, it is Venturia's Holcomb. 2nd time we've called his game tonight.
Yeah, we didn't call his name in that first matchup. He gives him a little different dimension. Lott is kind of a bigger, strong back. Tyler's kind of the shifty back that can run between the tackles, but Holcomb gives him a little breakaway speed that we didn't really see in that opening game win over Greenbrier.
So another 3rd down on this drive for Harlem.
Long sustained drives are a good thing. Oh,
not this
tackle.
time.
Beautiful tackle. I mean, a great open field tackle.
I believe that was Cates, who we've seen on offense a lot tonight and showing his defensive prowess here on third down.
Yeah, that's a defensive back's dream. The receiver's waiting on the football, and you're coming down. And just a perfect form tackle as well.
So 4th and 5. Looks like Mark Boyder is going to keep the offense on the field here.
Yeah, let's see if they're drawing him off. Where he's out on the field, it makes sense. I mean, they're inside the 30. It's not crippling if you don't get it for your defense. Let's see what they decide to do here. They haven't got it to Futrell yet. He is their number 1 target through the air.
Speaking of the air, Arroyo will do just that, and it is broken up. Broken up. Was it Zion Allen that got his hand on it for Aquinas?
It was Allen with the tip.
And it'll be Aquinas football with 6:19 left, leading 6-0 on Game Night Live. And again, honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month here on Game Night Live as Aquinas will start from its own 28, 1st and 10, leading by 6 with 6:18 left to play in this opening half. As we resume the 2024 season, and wide open and across midfield into Harlem territory.
That was beautiful. Just a little sidestep of the rush.
Yeah, what a throw.
Billy Barrett with the reception.
You know, it was interesting. That throw, watch this throw here. I mean, this is a big, strong kid. As Nathan said, he sidesteps kind of off his back foot and just a bullet. What a throw. And we didn't see that much in the Hepzibah game earlier in the year. We didn't see it on the first few drives. Franklin sort of finding his way here. The Davidson commitment looking very good the last couple of possessions.
28 yards on the pitch and catch from Franklin to Barrett. And on first down, 6 more yards for the Irish. Cates getting untracked.
Well, there's a flag down on the field on the far side there. Let's see what the call is. Aquinas opened things up by just pounding the football, running
5 yards against the defense.
Face mask on Harlem. But they just were trying to run, and, man, it opened some things up, and all of a sudden Franklin throwing the ball all over the yard the last couple of possessions.
There was a good look at Coach Mark Boyder of the Harlem Bulldogs.
Yeah, saw athletic director Rodney Holder as I was coming in the stadium tonight. This Harlem program in all sports just has been phenomenal over the last few years, whether it's baseball, girls softball, the basketball program much improved.
Cates with 5. Yeah, Holder always been a great friend to Channel 6.
And that's on cue. His son Will Holder's name called out by the PA announcer. Speaking of basketball, Jeff Harlem's got a new basketball coach here this year. And they also have a big-time player, the coach's son, moving in. They came in from New Hampstead, Jeff Williams, former Lakeside coach, moved out of town. Now he's back, and they should be much improved in basketball again this year.
They're not bad in baseball either.
Yeah, they're pretty good in baseball.
We'll get to that. Franklin running for his life, stops, fires, incomplete.
Yeah. Jack Rhodes is standing down by the end zone by himself. He knew his quarterback was on the run, but, man, he was hoping he could have looked up and saw him because he was way behind the defense.
So now Aquinas faces a third down of its own from the 32-yard line.
And the freshman, Eli Hutchinson, is in the backfield.
Speaking of, into his hands, and we stop at the 30-yard line. So a pickup of only a couple. They'll be 4th and 5. And what shall James Leonard do here?
Yeah, where they're out on the field, I think you're going to see the offense stay on the field. We're starting to see that more and more, just like the NFL
at all
and
levels,
colleges.
yeah,
Exactly. We're starting to see it more and more. I mean, you watch the Detroit Lions play. I mean, their punter almost can take a break during the game. But this spot of the field, it makes sense.
And Hutchinson will remain in the game in the backfield with Franklin. And before we do that, Harlem will take a timeout, which will allow us to tell you about that baseball team for Harlem. How about back-to-back state championships this year? Let's take you back to May 17th, Rome, Georgia, when the Bulldogs swept Calvary Day in a best-of-3 series to win their second straight state championship. 75-2 the Bulldogs are over their last 2 years, and a 20-game postseason win streak. Coach Jimmy Lewis, our good friend, now has 7 state titles, and he's not done. Well, he's finished his 48th season, and he says he's going to continue on next year.
He won his 5th state championship in 1986, and then went 37 years between state titles, and now has won 2 more. That is astonishing. That's a stat that will never be broken ever. Amazing, amazing number. But, yeah, it's been fun. You're right. It's almost like he kind of lives through these kids. He seems just as spry and young as he did, when I first started covering him.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, it's been fun watching that team the last couple of years.
And we bring that up to let you know that that team will be receiving its state championship rings at halftime of this game tonight. And we will bring that to you live in 4 minutes and 52 seconds. But first, a big 4th down for Aquinas, and Franklin will pick it up sliding at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, James, speaking of baseball, Franklin with a little slide into third base there. Gets the first down and keeps the drive alive. Harlem would love to get some more points on the board here late in the first half.
I'm sure they would, but Aquinas is going to have a chance first.
Oh, well, yeah. Aquinas love to get.
Hey, we've had a few weeks off.
I know, man.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Oh, beautifully done by Franklin. Into the hands of Barrett. Another big catch by him, and he keeps his feet going inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal for the Irish.
Yeah,
and that was not Barrett. That was Joseph Lambert.
Yeah, that's that Lambert name. There have been several Lamberts that have played here over the years. One was actually the player of the game in our, if I'm not mistaken, our very first Border Bowl. And good to see another Lambert. I'm sure the Lambert family in the stands pretty happy about this one. Or check that. That was actually 23 who caught the ball.
Okay, I was right to begin with.
It was Billy Barrett.
All right.
You were right.
So it's 1st and goal, and it is Cates, and it is down at the 1.
Oh, man, it looked like he might have reached out over the line, but they're going to spot him down at the 1. And if you're Aquinas, that might be even better. I mean, obviously you want points, but now you're able to run more clock. Put a little more pressure on Harlem if you're able to punch it in here, and they'll get the ball with less time.
Cates. This time, he is in for his 5th rushing touchdown of the season.
I tell you, this Aquinas team looks a lot better than the Aquinas team we saw 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago or whatever against Hepzibah. They were not able to stop Hepzibah's ground game running the ball. They ended up winning the game, but they just didn't look cohesive on offense tonight. They look a lot better after the first couple of possessions kind of finding their way. They've looked great the last couple, and their defense has been outstanding tonight.
And after missing the extra point, or having it blocked, I should say, earlier, James Leonard will keep the offense on the field, go for 2. Franklin looking for Cates, and it is picked off. So the 2-point conversion is no good. It was intercepted by Baylor Davis.
Yeah, that was a case of Franklin waiting too long. He had his receiver open and waited and waited and waited. And by the time he threw the ball, Davis was able to come over and make the play.
So a 3:21 left to play in the first half. Aquinas 12, Harlem nothing. Don't forget the Kimberly-Clark halftime show coming your way with Kira Goldstein. And the aforementioned Harlem baseball team will be receiving its state championship rings. We'll hear from the Harlem Bulldog Marching Band, and Kira will have a number of special guests. That's all coming your way on the Kimberly-Clark halftime show in 3 minutes and 21 seconds.
Yeah, we had some early start to some games tonight, so we got some finals already.
Yeah.
And a lot of those, so yeah, because of the hurricane and because of some curfew issues they were trying to get around, several Richmond County games started at 5 o'clock. I think Burke County started at 6. We had a game start at 4:45.
And you also got some teams playing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week as well. So playing.
We had Evans play on Wednesday. Yeah. We had Lakeside play last night.
And Lakeside played last night, and they're going to play Monday. Greenbrier played last night. They play on the road Tuesday. So teams trying to get all the games in. And I think when North Augusta starts back up on the 17th, they've got 3 games in the span of 9 days, if I'm not mistaken.
So Harlem from the 26-yard line with 3:14 to play in the first half.
Well, this is a really important drive. Harlem down. They haven't been able to get anything really going offensively. They changed the quarterback. That's one thing they've done. They've taken Arroyo out, and they have put in, looks like Barton. Let me see who's.
Number 10.
Yeah, Mercer Barton is in at quarterback. He's a junior.
And this isn't terribly unusual for Harlem. They have 3 quarterbacks who have taken a number of snaps this year.
Yeah, Brent Coleman started the first game, but Barton had a 2-point conversion toss in that game. Arroyo ended up playing more snaps. And so Barton's going to stay in there on second down as well.
So Mark Boyder trying to find the hot hand, and at this point it is Tyler at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, in that first game, he had not played at all and came off the bench in a huge 2-point conversion situation and threw a beautiful ball.
And then at the end of the game, when Arroyo had played pretty much the entire game, they brought in Brent Coleman, who started the game but then didn't play much, and he threw the game-winning touchdown. So it was a wild, wild game in the opener against Greenbrier.
So after the big first down run from Tyler, this time he'll be stopped for no gain.
So Barton and the Bulldogs trying to get some points on the board here. They trail 12-0. Aquinas got their passing game going in the second quarter here. Lincoln County out to an early lead on their rival Washington County, or Wilkes, Wilkes with a couple of turnovers, and Lincoln County leads 14-0.
And Tyler picking and weaving his way through traffic into Aquinas territory all the way to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, terrific run there up the middle. Tyler not the biggest, but watch him just breaking a couple of tackles, spinning his way across midfield.
16-yard run for Tyler and a Hawklaw Group first down. Keeping it on the ground, and not much there this time.
Yeah, that was Lott that time.
Jordan Lott, number 14, Harrison Fitzgerald meets him in the backfield. Again, if you are a baseball player participating in the halftime festivities.
Clock ticks under 2 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, Harrison Fitzgerald and Whit Hankinson on the tackle there.
Right in front of the WJBF WJBF sign.
Waiting for my guy, big number 55, Taylor Hart, when Harlem's on defense to make a tackle.
Well, trick play here to
But
Oliver.
Right now it's Harlem's offense, and it is Oliver. And a lot of running around, but didn't amount to much.
And it looked like he could have got stopped for a loss. He was able to slip a tackle, but then he runs into one of his blockers.
So Harlem will burn a timeout here with 1:15 left to play.
Well, good time to tell you about Georgia Army National Guard. They offer you so much more than what you think. You can get a degree with money for school, learn job skills that translate to the civilian world, make bonds that last a lifetime, and earn pride for life. When you become a Guard soldier, your family will thank you, your country will thank you, and your future will owe you.
And boy, you talk about the National Guard.
Yeah.
We read that every Friday night, and we always appreciate them. But when you've seen what they've done around our area the last 2 weeks.
The cleanup, how fast they and look, I get it. People were without power, and some still are, and people were without. But the fact that they got us running as fast as we did, the linesmen, and then, of course, like you said, the National Guard coming in and helping, clearing trees, helping people with their homes. It really has. It's a terrible tragedy what happened, but it's been great to see the community kind of rally around one another.
Absolutely. Tyler on 3rd down, and he'll have it, I believe. Nope, going to be about a yard shy. And again, I would assume this is 2-down territory with the time on the clock and the position on the field. Nope, they're going to give it to him. No, I think we're right. I think the press box said 1st down, but I believe it's 4th and 1.
Yeah, he's going to be just short. Yeah, he's got to get across the 35. Big play here.
Need 2. And 2 still on his feet, fighting. And I believe he got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Futrell with the extra effort is going to have a 1st down for the Bulldogs.
Jaden Futrell, the favored receiver of whoever's under center for Harlem. And what a fight he made for this 1st down.
Yeah, it looked like they might have him stop. Clock is running.
30 seconds to play. Harlem up to the line. From the 34-yard line.
Timeout Aquinas.
And Aquinas will take the timeout. But getting back to the hurricane cleanup you were talking about, AB, to finish that thought, what it looked like a week ago to what it looks like today, not even to mention 2 weeks ago, but a week ago when there was literally stuff everywhere. And again, we're putting the QR code on your screen. You can scan that on your phone, take a picture of it. It'll direct you to our website where we'll list a number of different organizations that are looking for volunteers, help, where you can get help, all sorts of resources for anything you need. But you drive around today, everything looks organized again. There are piles of debris, but
even that's being cleaned up.
It's being cleaned up. It's just really something to see.
Yep, for sure.
The lineman pictures are crazy. The ones like sleeping under their trucks because they're working crazy hours.
Cannot thank them enough. And of course, a lot of them turned right around and had to head to Florida after Hurricane Milton. And good job to get rid of it with 18 seconds left.
Yeah, it was kind of heartening to see. We've become, as you know, this day and age, sort of jaded, and we don't trust people, and we think people just worry about themselves. But to see, people in the neighborhood offering to help cut trees down, or offering to help people with their home, or get food to them and stuff, it has been pretty awesome.
As soon as day broke on that Friday, there were people in my neighborhood with chainsaws out, not in their yards, in other yards, and in the roads, clearing rights of way.
Yep.
2nd and 10. Barton going to try to get it all. And he'll have 12 more seconds to play with.
Well, he's got 2 more shots. You don't have to get it all on one play, but
I like that play call.
Yeah, I do
Why
too.
not take a shot?
I don't mind it either. And with the time now, you do have 2 more shots if you want to go deep. If you are going to, try to get the ball, maybe halfway, you got to throw to the sidelines. That's a long throw. I know one thing. If I'm Aquinas, I've got a couple of people locked in on number 2, Futrell.
And I think, to your point, AB, James Leonard wants to talk about it. And another timeout, Aquinas. And that'll bring them to 0 timeouts.
Harlem gets the kick, so if you could somehow get on the board here right before the half, you could take the lead at the beginning of the second half. But I mean, you got to be disappointed with the start. I mean, you had a possession start on the 20-yard line of the opposing team and came over with nothing on that drive.
That was one of 3 or 4 times in this first half that Harlem.
Yeah, if they're not
had really good field position.
If they're not able to come back, they're going to look at those first 3 possessions where they average getting the ball at about the 31 and know that they really botched a good opportunity there.
13 seconds for the Bulldogs.
Last time it looked like they were going to throw a screen to Futrell, which
Harlem does have 1 timeout to play with.
And they do throw.
It is Futrell. And he's trying to get to the sidelines, and he does inside the 30.
Smart play. Again, they threw the screen. They're able to get it to him near the sidelines, and he's able to run out of bounds and stop the clock.
Will Holder, the star pitcher for Harlem, is also the place kicker. His long this year. Hang on, I'm looking it up.
Well, this would be 45.
His long is 34, so they'd have to get to the 17-yard line. That doesn't mean he can't kick it farther than that.
Yeah.
That's just the longest he's done so far.
With 6 seconds, though, no time for
no
a play
time
to
for that.
stop.
Yep, just going to heave one to the end zone here. Barton to the end zone, and it is broken up. Aquinas equal to the task. It is Rhodes that comes out of there celebrating, but there were a whole host of white shirts back there.
Yeah, triple coverage, and they almost were still able to get it in there to the receiver, but it's incomplete, and Aquinas dodges a bullet there, and they take a shutout to the locker room, 12-0.
All right, so 12-0 Aquinas as we head to the half. And Kira Goldstein, somewhere down there, I believe, has the head coach of the Aquinas Fighting Irish, James Leonard.
Coach, defense just came up big to hold Harlem scoreless. How pleased are you with the effort on that side of the ball?
Oh, the defense has been playing great all year. You know, it's about time the offense showed up. You know, Jim's playing really well right now. We got to feed off that momentum. I'm getting the ball back here. You know, Jaden's playing really well. But overall, Coach Bill and his defense, every week they show up.
It took the offense a minute to get warmed up, but once they did, they really hit their momentum. How did the team make adjustments in real time to get points on the board?
Yeah, offensive coaching staff's doing a great job. You know, we just got to get in and out of stuff. We can't be in one set and trying to bang our head against the wall. So I think our offensive staff's doing a good job mixing it up. Jim's producing for us tonight, and we'll keep it rolling.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Appreciate it. Guys, we'll send it up to you.
Coach, thanks. Kira, thanks. We'll let Kira get set up. The Kimberly Clark halftime show is coming up next. Right here, Aquinas 12, Harlem nothing at halftime on Game Night Live.
You are blocking the roadway.
Welcome back to Game Night Live here at Harlem, where Aquinas is in the lead 12-0. Right now, I have my friend Brian Brooker from Coleman Services. Can you tell our fans what Coleman Services does?
Yeah, so we are a local-owned, family-owned business here in Harlem and have been a part of the community for over 30 years. And we serve in the plumbing and HVAC services for this community and really the surrounding CSRA. We serve all of those customers.
With Hurricane Helene coming through, how has your company been able to reach out to the community?
Yeah, you know, we've seen, I think, the community really come together from the impact of this storm and, you know, seeing a lot of people taking care of each other and all of those things. So, you know, what we see is being out in the community, serving, finding those things that need to be taken care of. And it really goes into the HVAC and the plumbing services as well, right? We know that a lot of damage has been done, and when you're looking at your HVAC unit, it can be more than just the obvious of tree limbs or trees on the unit. It really is looking at some of the things that you can't see that are not as obvious. And so a lot of that is being able to be proactive with your unit and really get it serviced, get it maintenance, have someone look at it to make sure, you know, it'll be ready for the cold season that's coming.
Are there any tips or tricks that you can give our viewers or things that they should look out for?
Yeah, I think seeing a storm and the effects that we saw with the hurricane here, even from the obvious damage, you can get a lot of debris. There could have been limbs that hit the coils, you know, leaks, things of that nature. So I think the biggest thing is just, you know, we have a lot of availability. We have got great technicians. Call us, get on our schedule, and we can come and service your unit and kind of give you a very straightforward and honest view of what's going on with that and in preparation for winter.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for all you do for the community. Check out Coleman Services. Right now, we are going to go check out the Harlem Ring Ceremony happening on the field.
Your freshman, Braden Carlisle. Your freshman, Hayden Harper. Your freshman, Preston Human. Your freshman, Cole Howland. Your freshman, Connor Lloyd. Your freshman, Brentley McGowan. your freshman, Leighton Sawinski. Freshman, Aiden Williams. And freshman, Walter Yelton. Your sophomores, Bryce Anderson. Sophomore, Brody Knight. Sophomore, Wyatt McCollum. Sophomore, Brendan Morrison. Sophomore, Dawson Reed. Sophomore, Dominique Titus. Your juniors, accepting for Mason Grant, Mr. Josh Grant. Junior, Stephen Harshberger. Junior, Will Holder. Junior, Dan Huntskebeck. Junior, Antonio T.J. Lendo. And your junior, Walker Spivey. Your seniors, Hayden Coyle. Accepting for Jackson Decker, his dad, Daniel Decker. Senior, Jake Fuller. Senior, Emerson Guy. Senior, Jerry Hamilton. Your senior, Trey Jennings. Your senior, Tyler Simmons. And last but not least, senior, Shane Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, again, a record of 38-1. First in the state, back-to-back state champions, ninth in the nation, your Harlem School, Harlem High School baseball Bulldogs.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have more excitement when Game Night Live returns. Welcome back to Game Night Live. We just saw the Harlem baseball team accept their championship rings. We'll hear from head coach Jimmy Lewis in just a little bit, but first, let's check out the Harlem Band. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Game Night Live. I'm here on the sideline with legendary head coach Jimmy Lewis. Coach, I was in Rome for your win. I know how special this team is to you. What is it like to be celebrated tonight?
Well, I mean, it's fantastic for these guys to get the rings. They deserve it. I mean, they're probably the best baseball group we've ever had, and I mean, that's not taking anything from all my other great teams. But they're 73-2, 38-1 last year, and I mean, they were great. They played. They never figured they'd lose, and they didn't.
It was so much fun watching your team win. When I asked you after the game how much fun you had, you said this is one of the most fun teams you've coached. What is the energy like on the team, and how much do you love coaching them?
Well, I enjoyed coaching them. They're a little wacko. They're kind of crazy. Have to steer them in the right direction a little bit. But when they went in between the lines on the baseball field, they were serious business, and they took care of business. So it was a lot of fun. I kind of like just got out of the way and let them go at it.
Coach, what do you hope for the future of this program? I'm not going to say another state championship because I know you hate when I say that, but what do you hope for the future of Harlem baseball?
Our goal is to try to win the region next year, or this spring, and our goal, I mean, like every year, is to try to win another state championship. It's going to be very hard, very difficult, but we're going to work hard, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you so much for the time, Coach. It is always a pleasure, and congratulations on the celebration and the win.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, there it is. We're going to take a look at the ring. And we're going to be right back. Get a look at that.
Welcome back to Harlem, where the Kimberly-Clark halftime show continues, and another big congratulations to Jimmy Lewis.
You sure it's not the Jimmy Lewis show?
Jimmy Lewis and his back-to-back state champion
awesome.
Harlem Bulldogs. Always a pleasure to talk to Coach. Oh, man. All right, so halftime show rolls on. We got about a minute and 35 before we get set for the second half kickoff. And while we wait, let's get you your QBs by the quarter for quarter number 2, Nathan Edwards.
Yes, Arroyo was 3 of 12 for 15 yards. It did go to Barton there late in the half. He was 2 of 6 for 8 yards. Kind of the story of the first half is Franklin, 9 of 11 for Aquinas for 129 yards and a touchdown.
QBs by the quarter, brought to you as always by Culpeper Lumber, Ace Hardware, and with that, let's get back down to Kira, who's got Harlem head coach Mark Boyder.
Coach, how do you want to build momentum in the second half and get some points on the board?
Score on this drive.
Understood. Thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Succinct. We'll send it back up to you.
I mean, you know, can't argue with that.
Well, yeah, he definitely wants to. They average starting on their own 44-yard line and still unable to get points. Whereas you look at Aquinas, they started on their own 17 and they lead at 12-0. That is a big storyline in this game for sure.
And one of the stats that stands out in the first half is Harlem averaging just 2.6 yards per play.
Yeah.
So they'll definitely want to improve with that. But again, the good news for the Bulldogs, they do get the ball to start this second half. Let's get you up to date on some other scores from around the area.
Well, last night, Lakeside improved to 6-0 for the first time in school history, beating Greenbrier 28-14. Tonight, Westside trying to stay unbeaten. At halftime, they're crushing Cross Creek. It's 41-6. Laney and Butler locked in a tight one. Laney on top, or actually Laney wins that one. It's a final 22-18. Burke County a winner over Josie, 56-12. Baldwin demolishing Hepzer right now at halftime, 51-0. Also, a little bit of a surprise. West Lawrence easily passed Richmond, 41-6. At halftime, Lincoln County leading 27-0 over Washington Wilkes. And over in South Carolina, Silver Bluff leads Keenan at halftime 7-6, and Gilbert leads Midland Valley at half 21-14.
And if you were looking at the graphic on the screen, Aquinas is not playing a split squad game tonight. The whole team is here.
Yeah.
They are not at Westside.
Yeah, they're having to make up games so much they're playing 2 and 1.
Yeah, they got half their guys had to go.
You know what? With the way things have gone the last couple of weeks, it wouldn't surprise me. So 12-0, the Irish lead the Bulldogs with 24 minutes left to settle this one here in Harlem.
Yeah, and Coach Boyder's right. I think this first possession is really, really important for the confidence for his team. You know, I think anybody would have probably had them as the favorites coming in, not just that they're 4-0, just how they played and who they've beaten. But right now, Aquinas shutting them out 12-0. Jim Franklin looking really good in that second quarter.
And we're underway in the second half. And the Bulldogs will start from the 31-yard line.
Looks like Eli Hutchinson.
Yeah, I tell you, Eli Hutchinson with another tackle. He has been all over the field for Aquinas. Offense, defense, special teams, everywhere.
look at the first half stats, and the total offense leaned toward Aquinas, 56 yards to 97 yards. But boy, the rushing differential, really something. 74 yards for Harlem to just 27 for Aquinas. The difference through the air, where Aquinas threw it for 129 yards, Harlem just 23.
Well, that was almost a really big gainer for Tyler, who actually ended up with 47 yards on 10 carries in the first half, and he starts the second half off with a nice run there. The time of possession, this might be the most even we've ever had it. 11:44 to 12:16 in time of possession.
On 2nd and 2, they'll swing it out to Futrell, and Futrell will pick up the first down and out of bounds up to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Zion Allen finally gets him out of bounds. That was a play they ran late in the first half. They had some success, so they went right back to it. Anytime you can get the ball in that guy's hands, it's a good idea. He's a superb athlete. And like I said, just scratching the surface on what he can be as a football player.
Back to Tyler. Pushes ahead toward midfield. And this drive starting off looking pretty good for Harlem.
Yeah, they're leaving Herman in there, the backup quarterback, or Barton, the backup quarterback in there. He came in late in the first half. They had a decent drive with him in there at that point, so they're leaving him in.
From midfield. Across midfield. Oh, ball is out, and Aquinas is on it.
Well, that is, yeah, and that's Gibson.
Darrell Gibson falls on it for the Irish.
Jaden Lott was the ball carrier, and they were moving the ball and then trying to get some extra yardage, and the ball comes out.
We will see if we can get some eyes on who knocked it out, but it is Gibson that gives the ball back to the Irish, and as soon as the chains start to move in the favor of the Bulldogs, here comes Aquinas.
Yeah, Coach Borders, yeah, that's so frustrating. You finally get a drive where you're moving the football and lose it, and you give it to Aquinas. And
Aquinas great field position.
Don't know what to think. They're used to starting way back in their own territory, and here they are at midfield. Boy, this would be a big-time dagger if they're able to punch one in here.
Jim Franklin, 9 of 11 for 129 yards and a touchdown in the first half. His first toss of the second half will not happen. Well, still on his feet. Now he goes down at the 48.
Well, he tried to break some tackles, ended up finally coming down. But, you know, we know he's a tough customer. We saw the play last year where he broke his finger and comes right back and gets it popped into place and stays in the game and throws a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That was the play of the year.
Yeah.
But a loss of 2 on first down here.
He's going to lose about 2 yards. Would be 2nd and 10.
2nd and 12 from the Aquinas 48.
Here's where the Harlem defense, who played pretty well in the first half, they let it get away from a little bit in the second quarter, but this is where they need to step up and help their offense and get off the field here.
Cates just across the original line. 3rd and 8.
Yeah, big 3rd and long here. And somehow, some way, you got to get some pressure on Franklin. We've seen if you let him sit back there and throw it, he can pick you apart. So they got to get some pressure on big number 7. He is committed to go to Davidson and play quarterback.
It'll be 3rd down and about 8.5, 9 yards.
Line to gain is the 40. Nowhere near.
Did not expect that. The designed run for Franklin. They faked the handoff, and he kept it. So it's going to be 4th down. And Harlem with the defensive stop. That's a big stop for the Harlem defense.
Yeah, Bulldogs dodged the bullet here.
For the Irish.
So Aquinas will punt it away. Harlem, the deep man back at his own about 15-yard line.
Good roll for the Irish and drop at the 15.
At about the 15, 16-yard line.
Joseph Clark.
Yeah, Clark, the ball took a good bounce where he could pick it up, but by the time it got to him, the Aquinas defenders were right on top of him.
Yeah, really good play there by Clark, though. He gets out of the way, that ball could roll all the way down inside the 5.
Yep. 16-yard line.
So Harlem, the first possession of the second half, started with some promise until they had the fumble. And again, Barton is in at quarterback. Tyler in the backfield, Futrell to the near side.
And it's Tyler with a burst of speed right through the middle.
Yeah, almost the
Close
same
to a first
run.
down.
Almost the same run of first down on last possession.
And they will give him the 10.
Yeah, about the same amount of yardage, I think, last time as well. So he's up near 70 yards rushing on the night. Jaden Worth just disrupts so much.
Absolutely blew that up.
I mean, wow. Harlem's trying to block him, but, after the play, it doesn't help. You got to try and stop him before the play. And he got in there that time, was able to stuff things up. Can't tell you how much of a big-time athlete that guy is. He's only a 10th grader, a legit 6'2", 6'3", 250 pounds.
Oh, the ball is out again. This time the Bulldogs bounce on it. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that was almost a disaster, but Barton able to recover the ball there. But it's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, the good news, Harlem keeps the ball. Bad news is it's going to be 3rd and, we'll call it 3rd and 15.
Well, if they get it to either Futrell or maybe Holcomb, the speedsters, see if they can get the ball to them in the open field and let them make a play here. Oh, they're going to get 5 yards free.
Get some help, yeah.
Well, that's the one thing when you're a pass rusher and you know this is a pass and down, you kind of lick
The
your chops.
5-yard penalty, the down remains 3rd.
Worth was a little too quick there jumping across the line.
So that makes it a little more manageable for the Bulldogs. See the 3 receivers on the right side of your screen. But it is Futrell at the top.
Pass complete, the number.
And it is Futrell on the receiving end, but well short of the first down up at the 31-yard line.
That'll be 4th down.
So 4th and 9. Check that. 4th and 4.
Futrell has 5 receptions, but he has under 20 yards on those catches.
They have bottled him up,
Yeah.
which very few teams have been able to do. So Harlem will have to kick it away. And again, this Aquinas defense continues to impress. Rhodes.
Yeah, Jack Rhodes with a nice return.
Yeah, across midfield up to the 45, and the Irish, well, let's make sure he's okay. Oh, boy, that would be terrible news for the Irish.
No team has lost more players to injury the last couple of years, important players, than Aquinas with Jim Franklin, Clark Jackson. They've lost some big ones, and hopefully he's okay.
We'll keep an eye on him and step aside. Jack Rhodes just got back to his feet on the Irish sideline, but he will not be in for first down. There was a late hit call, personal foul, so that's going to move the ball all the way down to roughly the 30-yard line, 34-yard line.
That's a big blow. Rhodes had 3 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown in the first half. He's easily their #1 target. He had a great return there, but with the penalty, man, it's going to give Aquinas really, really good field position.
So he is headed to the tent. We'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, the Irish start from the 33-yard line.
Yeah, golden opportunity to put some more points on the board and really put Harlem's back against the wall here.
Number 2.
On first down, it's Cates. Cates with lots of running room.
Yeah, maybe his best run of the night.
Into the red zone. Immediately go the Irish.
On the far side.
The in-motion red zone. Just inside it. Aquinas sets up at the 20. And as much trouble as Harlem's offense have had tonight, like you said, AB,
yeah,
they score here. Cates.
That's number 2 again on the far left-hand side.
Rinse and repeat for Cates.
Yeah, he was able to, I thought it was not going to get much, and he was able to kind of sneak down the sidelines and pick up some yardage.
So 2nd and 7.
It'll be 2nd about 6.
We'll call it a short 7, a long 6. Leonard, or I should say Franklin, under pressure. I did it. Now you're rubbing off on me, AB.
Well, I think he was going to try to fake into the flat and go deep, but he had pressure and had to just kind of throw it away. It looked like that was what they were going to try to do, was catch him deep, but good pressure by Harlem that time.
Don't forget, we have the Game Night Live trivia question coming up. AB's had 3 weeks to
I've been
study.
studying. That's all I've been doing this whole entire time.
He's got his World Book Britannica Encyclopedias out.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but I added an L to your column 3 weeks ago.
Franklin, end zone. Almost intercepted.
Yeah, kind of threw it up and overthrew his intended target.
And Ronald Oliver, we've talked about what a great defensive back he is for this Harlem team, and he'd be the first to tell you he wishes he had that one.
Yeah, the ball kind of floated. I don't know if Franklin got hit as he threw there, or definitely floated that one up a little too much. So Aquinas going to try to kick one here. It's going to be a 33-yarder.
And it is blocked. Another defensive stand for Harlem here. And on the return.
Is that Clark?
That was Joseph Clark, yeah. So a big play for the Bulldogs.
Boy, that is a huge
and
play.
Reverses momentum here as Aquinas was driving, and now the Bulldogs with great field position.
And both kicks tonight.
Yeah, they blocked the extra point earlier. And, you know, Aquinas looked like they might get a touchdown or at least a field goal when they go for the field goal, and instead they get no points, and Harlem gets great field position on the return.
So we'll see if that momentum shift comes back to haunt the Irish.
Yeah, if they're able to come back here, that's the play you go back to as the pivotal, play in the game for sure. And they're going to stick with Barton at quarterback.
From the 45.
Oh, he is
he's
a menace. There's Jaden Worth, number 44. You get a good look at him. He doesn't look like a 10th grader, I can promise you that.
And a reminder, because it's been a few weeks that we select our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game at the end of the contest. Jaden Worth throwing his hat in the ring right now.
Well, and he chased down the ball carrier. They ran to the opposite end. He's the defensive end on the far side. They ran to the near side, and he's still able to make the play. They double team him there.
And broken up at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, good coverage that time. I think that was Zion Allen.
Yeah, Oliver, the intended receiver.
I think Zion Allen said, I'm going to make sure they call my name this time. He's made some big plays tonight. Good to see. But, yeah, they double-teamed 44, of course, Jaden Worth, and that gave Barton time to throw deep.
And Barton can air it out.
Yeah, he threw it. It was a good pass. It was just good coverage.
That is the second time we've seen him try to thread the needle deep downfield. So 3rd and 11 now. Barton going to try it again. And again, incomplete.
Yeah, that's one you want your receiver to make the play. I mean, it was a little underthrown. The receiver had to come back, but Clark was right there and just let the ball go through his hands. That would have been a huge gain for the Bulldogs. Instead, now it's 4th and long, and they're going to have to punt it away.
It was 12-0 at the half. It remains 12-0 with 4:17 to play in the third.
Yeah, I mean, this game last year was 47-42.
Hard to believe right now.
It's just been a totally different script than I think we thought we would see when we got here tonight. Tell you what, though, you couldn't ask for a better night for football. A little bit of chill in the air.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, good crowd. Everybody kind of getting back to a little bit of normal Friday night here.
Yeah, you're in the South when it's mid-60s and people are bundled up like it's 40 below.
Yeah.
Well, Mark Boyder said he felt like this Harlem crowd would pack this place just trying to get back to normal, and boy, they have. But unfortunately for the Bulldogs, Aquinas hasn't let them anything to cheer about.
You know, and we've seen some weird scores as teams have come back. You know, Evans lost by a big number to Effingham County. We didn't expect that. West Lawrence beating Richmond the way they did. I didn't expect that. So some of these teams have come back after missing that time, and again, you lose that continuity, that chemistry. And, you know, a lot of these teams hadn't had a chance to practice a whole lot.
You're going to love it if you get in a little bit of a momentum situation. But if you have an injury like to Rhodes and you got to play 2 or 3 games in a week, it's tough.
Cates on first down.
Cates kind of hops as he runs. He's got a really, when he makes a move, it's almost like he hops in the air a little bit, and he's able to pick up some good yardage. Again, the last time on Game Night Live where we did their game, he had 166 yards in a big win over Hepzibah.
He only had 18 yards in the first half tonight, but he has easily bested that here in the second. Picked up 7 on first down.
He's up to 45 yards on the night.
They brought in a different back that time, and that was Zion Allen on the carry, actually.
So 3rd and 3.
Yeah, this is a big third down play. They're in a position on the field where they're likely not going to go for it on 4th. So if you can somehow get a stop here, if you're Harlem, get the football back in reasonable field position.
But it seems like we've been saying that over and over and over.
Oh, at some point you got to score.
Just haven't been able to get anything going.
Third down and about 3.
And we're not telling Mark Boyer anything he doesn't already know.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a frustrating. That's a frustrating play for Harlem.
Allen slips loose.
2 different chances to get him. One behind the line, one at the line of scrimmage, and instead they let him slip through and get the first down. That is a frustrating play for the coaching staff and the Harlem fans there.
Fresh set of downs. The Hawk Law Group first down up to the 35 for the Irish.
Yeah, they had that play game planned perfectly and had 2 different chances to get him stopped well short of the first down and unable to get it done. Now they've brought in the big fella, Jaden Worth. He's on the near side here, and they're going to run away from where he's at, and they're going to get good yardage.
Yeah, almost another first down. 9 yards on first down for Cates, who's back in after a quick rest.
And there's a flag down, number 51 for Aquinas. The Harlem folks did not take kindly to him. That is Thomas O'Connor, and he had his hands up like if to say he did it right at the whistle. There was some pushing and shoving afterwards, though, and let's see what the call is going to be. See, Taylor Hart is just like you. He's over there. He's over there trying to talk the official into some stuff. I see it.
After the play, a personal foul on the offense. After the play, a personal foul on the defense. Those penalties offset. Second down.
We lost something there.
Personal fouls against both teams.
Well, here's where you could take especially if you had Rhodes in there, you could take a deep shot here. 2nd and short, maybe catch him napping, but.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, passing game's been non-existent since Rhodes got hurt.
Instead, they'll just try to move the chains with Cates. They will across midfield and out of bounds.
Oh, yeah. Coach Leonard would be perfectly happy not scoring and just running out a lot of clock when they get the ball because he feels pretty good about where his defense is for obvious reasons. They played great.
It's like they're going to mark him out back at the 49 of Aquinas. Still a first down.
Yeah, we talked about the fact that they struggled a little bit trying to stop the young running back at Hepzibah, but keep in mind, Jaden Worth did not play in that game. They're a much different team. When you put a guy like that on the field, it changes some things for sure. If nothing else, the opposing team has to account for him, maybe with 2 people on every play. So it really opens some things up.
2 tough yards on first down. That was Hutchinson, the freshman.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier his older brother, Caleb, a starter and a solid player at Mercer
was our WJBF Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Westside, he reminded me of a little bit shorter version of another Westside player that you remember that played at Georgia.
Douglas.
No, it was
not Westside.
Sanders Cummings.
Sanders Cummings. I thought you were talking about Aquinas.
No. At Westside. Caleb, played at Westside. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of Sanders Cummings.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep. And I tell you, Eli's a gamer. He's going to be a big-time player, too, only a 9th grader. And there's Nathan showing us a picture of him with Sanders Cummings. Yeah. Sanders has had a really interesting career. He went to the NFL with the Chiefs and got the injury, and then he decided he was going to play pro baseball because he was an excellent baseball player. Then he gave that up, and I think he was going to try to pursue golf at one point.
The man of many talents.
That's right.
Flag down.
Yeah, caught up with him this summer at Aaron Murray's charity tournament.
Yeah.
It's a hole on the offense. Down remains first.
I'm a little alarmed how fast Nathan was able to get that picture.
I think Sanders Cummings should be the one that's alarmed. Oh, man. So the Irish go in reverse back to the 49.
Yeah.
And final minute here of this third quarter. I'm going to go ahead and ask you the trivia question while we're back here at the 49-yard line.
Let's do it.
Are you set?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, we saw Jimmy Lewis and his baseball team honored at halftime. Saw the interview with Coach Lewis. Always a great guest. One of our favorite people to deal with. A lot of people who are so enamored with baseball may not remember, as that pass fall is incomplete, Jimmy Lewis coached football here for 23 seasons, 2 different stints before stepping away from football before the 2015 season. Against which opponent did Jimmy Lewis have the most football wins?
Ooh.
We'll answer that question in the fourth quarter.
We'll go second 18.
So
that's a tough one.
Some regions and stuff have changed a good bit.
Yeah, man, that's a tough one. You came back with a vengeance. That's a tough one.
I've had 3 weeks.
Mine wasn't easy either. It was like historical precedents.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give you a bonus after this play. As Cates, he was wrapped up in the backfield, got away from the first man, and then he'll be dropped back at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, good pursuit by Harlem there.
Christopher Arroyo.
That'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. So I'll give you the bonus trivia question in the fourth quarter.
All on the tackle with Bailey. That'll bring your score here at the end of the
We're through 3. Aquinas 12, Harlem nothing.
0.
Well, I was going to ask you what you're going to run on 3rd and 27, AB, but we're about to find out either way, and it's going to be a screen.
Yeah, screen to Cates is going to be well short, so Harlem defense comes up and makes a stop again. Both defenses have played pretty well other than really a couple of possessions in the second quarter where Harlem didn't let Franklin beat him with his arm.
Yeah, we're still scoreless here in the second half. Whit Hankinson in to kick it away for Aquinas. First time I believe we've called his name tonight, which is a little surprising.
Yeah, and his older brother, of course, a former great kicker here.
And a good punt. Checks up at the 21-yard line. And the Bulldogs will take over there. You want the bonus trivia question that I asked Nathan?
Yeah.
Problem is I can't remember the answer now. Do you remember the answer, Nathan?
I can look it up for you.
Okay, good. Well, the question was, we were at Lincoln County 3 weeks ago. They fielded their first football team in 1922. The topic was presidential politics.
Yeah.
And the question was, who was president of the United States when Lincoln County fielded its first football team in 1922?
Roosevelt?
No.
Okay. Who was it?
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I remember. Now that Nathan showed me the answer, I remember.
I had a decent guess, though.
You did. As Harlem begins its drive. And short gain on first down.
1922 was the year my grandfather was born. I do not know the answer, though.
Warren G. Harding.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went with Hoover.
Warren G. I knew it was one of Snoop Dogg's guys.
2nd and 9. You get no credit for that, though. You don't take the L on that. Nathan already did.
Makes me feel better, though.
And again, this Aquinas defense is just impressive.
They played really well. And the crazy thing, their best two players, one's a sophomore and one's a freshman.
Guess who was the first guy in?
No doubt, that guy right there, Jaden Worth, the big fella. You'll be hearing that name a lot over the next few years. And trust me, college coaches are calling quite a bit to find out about this young man.
He has that look of like just a 80s linebacker kind of. You want to put the neck roll on him.
Bosworth.
Yeah. So again, quick 3rd down for Harlem and another quick 3 and out for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a dangerous tip there. That ball could have been picked off. And, man, it has been tough sledding against this Aquinas defense for Harlem. And, you know, I go back to Harlem's looked so good. You know, they scored a bunch of points against Greenbrier in that opener. Last year they had Evangelista, the brothers, the quarterback and receiver. And, you know, tonight their passing game has really struggled with Arroyo and with Barton.
There was also an illegal shift there on the Bulldogs on that last play, which was declined. So,
yeah, he thought about it there, I think, for a second, but I think it's still too early to be going for it.
Yeah, in that spot on the field, yeah. It's getting close, though. So Aquinas should get really good field position, and you would have to think if they're able to get points here, Harlem is in, unless it's a field goal, Harlem's in really bad shape.
Holder with another good kick. Oh. Yeah, great play by Rod Anderson on the kickoff coverage. And no flag, so just a good hard tackle. Let's take another look.
Get it with the nose on the 50-yard line.
Oh, yeah, nice play.
Yep, very nicely done. So with 10:19 to play, down 12, Harlem. And Aquinas in a battle here on the return of Game Night Live. And the Irish from the 50.
False start. Left tackle.
It's a 5-yard penalty. The down remains first.
So first and 15 from the 45. Franklin, all kinds of time.
Oh, good throw.
As a result, has plenty of time to find C.J. Wilkerson.
That was just a beautiful little back shoulder throw.
And he's just a sophomore. We keep saying freshman, sophomore. A lot of youth on this Aquinas team.
Well, and Franklin patted him on the head. He knows how important that was with Rhodes not on the field to find somebody he can go to and trust. And to throw a back shoulder throw with a sophomore and him make the play, pretty big there.
And a fresh set of downs. First down at the 39 of Harlem.
Franklin's really good at throwing the flare and swing passes to the running back out of the backfield.
And throwing the receiver open when he has to. And that's, you know, I watched last night Brock Purdy, and, you know, people say, well, he's not big enough, he doesn't have the arm strength. One thing he does, he throws the ball to where the receiver's moving away from the defender, moving him open. He does that so well.
Speaking of doing things well, how about Marcus Wheeler and Baylor Davis in there to stop Cates in his tracks?
Yeah, the strong arm gets all of the flashiness, but accuracy is going to trump every single time.
Oh, yeah.
no matter how good arm you have, you can't control it.
2nd and 15. Cates dragged down.
Another tackle. 26, Rod Anderson.
He's had a good second half.
Yeah.
And as you might imagine, the Irish in absolutely no hurry.
This Harlem defense is giving it everything here in the second half to keep this team in the game.
Like I said, other than 2 possessions, they played great. Those 2 possessions in the second quarter where Franklin was able to get the, game going through the air. Aside from that, they played really well defensively too. And their offense just hasn't been able to get anything going.
And this is pretty much on average for Harlem. They only allow 15 points a game, 12 so far tonight. And that's going to fall incomplete just out of camera range.
And keep in mind, 37 of those came in the first game. After that, they've really shut everybody down.
Looks like it was intended for number 11, Darryl.
Yeah, the epic battle with Greenbrier on opening night here on Game Night Live.
Yeah, Greenbrier, kudos to them. I know, they dropped to 2-3 last night, but that's a team that was 1 for their last 22. They were 1-21 in their previous 22 games, and they had a chance to beat Harlem. They hung in there with Brunswick. They hung in there with Lakeside. They blasted Statesboro. Sean Tiernan's gotten them playing some good football.
Lakeside and Brunswick are the 2 best teams in that region.
Yeah.
And so Greenbrier team's still in line for a playoff spot.
Yep.
So the Bulldogs are going to get another chance here, but again, we'll start deep in their own territory at the 10-yard line.
Harlem will have the ball 1st and 10.
Well, they didn't capitalize in the first half when they kept getting great field position, and now they're not getting it. They need the offense. They need a big play. They need Tyler to break a run or Futrell get one of those screens and break it loose. They've got to get a big play. They haven't been able to get methodical, long drives going for sure.
Yeah, they only have 129 total yards, and Tyler has 69 of them on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's really been pretty much their entire offense tonight.
And it's getting to the point where you almost can't run the ball a whole lot. You need 2 scores.
They will on 1st down here, and they'll run it well. Big 1st down across the 35-yard line.
And that's Baylor Davis. First time they put him in on the offensive side of the ball, he can run. He's a speed burner. And maybe this is something we should have seen a little earlier because Davis able to, pick up big yardage there on the run. It's kind of what Greenbrier does with Cole Trupp.
And they'll stick with it here. Davis. Another big gain across midfield, and here come the Bulldogs all the way to the Aquinas 30-yard line.
Well, Baylor Davis, for the most part in his career, he's been a defensive guy, but back in middle school and coming up, he was a runner, and really good to see him with a couple of big runs for the Bulldogs. Now he's going to come out briefly and get a breather.
And Arroyo will come back
Arroyo.
in.
Yep.
First action he's seen in the second half.
Sometimes it's as simple as get your best athlete on the team
and get him the ball. Yeah. Exactly.
Arroyo had that rough first half, 3 of 12 for 15 yards, but got the break, and now with the Dogs driving, that's not going to help.
Oh, goodness.
And Aquinas has the football.
Oh, goodness.
That's Fitzgerald. Did he end up with it? Yeah. Oh, wow.
What a turn of events for the Irish.
Baylor Davis comes in with the 2 great runs. He comes out, and they bobble it. And you see it right here. He had a chance to get it, but he never had control of it, and Fitzgerald gets it right there.
Harrison Fitzgerald, senior linebacker.
Trying to win McDonald's Defense Player of the Game for the 2nd time this year.
He's got some tough competition.
Yeah, he does.
And a Harlem player injured.
Is that Arroyo? I'm not sure who that is now.
Yes,
it is Arroyo. Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, I see the Jordans peeking out there on the right.
I mean, unfortunately, they had something going there, but he was just gassed and had to come out of the game.
Well, Arroyo was hoping he could come in and kind of make up for his tough start, and man, just a devastating, turnover there.
Arroyo sitting up. And now to his feet.
And nobody's sicker about that fumble than he is. Robert Leslie,
our good friend, the trainer for Harlem.
Got him a state championship ring.
That he did. He has been on the sidelines for a lot of local teams for a long time. So good news that Arroyo is able to walk off under his own power. Bad news is for Harlem, still no points on the scoreboard and getting late early.
Yeah, and like you said, Aquinas is going to be in no hurry here. They're going to try to eat up some clock on this drive.
Aquinas opened back in 1957 when Boys Catholic merged with Mount St. Joseph's. If they can hang on to this 12-0 lead, since the original Boys Catholic opened, this would be the 347th win in school history.
And it would be number 99 for James Leonard.
And of course, James Leonard, as Franklin finds
what
a
a
man.
play. What a play.
It is complete to Gibson. Wow, kept the play alive. I thought he was throwing it away.
I did too. I thought he felt he was lucky to get away from the first defender. And somehow, some way, Franklin was able to get the ball to a wide open. Watch this play, just great effort by Franklin. He's pressured there. They almost get him right here. He's able to hold on to the football and then find somebody downfield. Great play.
Being aggressive, too. I don't know. We thought they were going to come out throwing there on first down.
I assumed the one thing you would like to have seen done is Gibson stay in bounds there.
Yeah. I think Coach Leonard Franklin's played well tonight, and he's got a lot of confidence in him.
And James Leonard will call a timeout. To finish your thought on James Leonard, this would be career win number 99 at Aquinas for Leonard. He is the winningest coach at Aquinas, if you include Aquinas Boys Catholic going all the way back. He's the winningest coach right now by 25 games over
another Leonard, I'm
his
sure.
grandfather, Denny Leonard, who coached from 1946 to 1966 from Boys Catholic to Aquinas. And James Leonard, when he took the job, said, if I can be half the man and half the coach that he was, either one, I'll be very happy. And so I'm guessing James Leonard is very happy with what he's accomplished.
Well, he set the bar pretty high for himself by going 14-0 in his first year.
That'll do it.
Yeah, he had some great players over the years, Liam Welch and Reuben Garnett, and man, some really, really talented players they've had come through here in the last 10, 12, 15 years.
So coming out of the timeout, 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line of Harlem. And it's Cates. This time couldn't quite get the edge. Down at the 35. We move under 7 minutes to play.
The second 9.
Again, this Harlem team undefeated coming in 4-0 overall, 2-0 in Region 4 AAA. Aquinas 2-2 coming in, 1-1 in the region. And this a region contest for the first time.
Second 9 for the Irish.
2nd and 9. And Cates, good hard run to the 31.
Number 2, Cates on the carry.
Well, this is a big third down if you can stop them here. Because if they're able to get it, then the clock really becomes an issue.
This really almost could be the ball game right here.
Yeah. And you know Mark Boyders knows how important this play is.
3rd and 5. Play of the night for Harlem. And Cates pushes ahead. Going to be close.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be close enough that even if he didn't get it, they're going to go for it. But it is a first down.
They are going to go ahead and move the chains. First down, Aquinas. With 5 and change to play, and the clock will continue to move.
Yeah, and that just means they can eat more clock here. Force Harlem to use their timeouts.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Irish.
And this time the timeout is called by Aquinas. So with that, we will take a timeout with them. 4:45 to play, 12-0. 4:26 to play here in this one is Aquinas trying to salt away this 12-0 lead, and he'll face a 3rd and 7 at the 24-yard line.
Yeah,
sorry, the 19-yard line.
This is a monstrous play for Harlem if they want to have any chance of winning this game.
So here we go. Aquinas. If they convert here, they can start to smell victory. And I believe they do.
Down to the 15.
Yep, needed 3, got 4. Should be a first down, Aquinas. And it is.
And the clock will start back up when they move the chains, but Harlem does have timeouts they can burn.
They do have 3 in Mark Boyder's pocket.
The first things first, you got to try and get a stop, get the ball back, do something here. They need a play from somebody.
You would think at this point a turnover would have to happen for Harlem to have a shot.
Now they have blocked both kicks. You know, the extra point they blocked, and then the field goal they blocked. But at this point, if you're Aquinas, do you even worry about trying a field goal? Just eat up as much clock as you can and hope that is enough.
Don't forget the post-game show coming up as Harlem calls its first time out.
Yeah.
You've got the McDonald's offensive and defensive player of the game, the hit of the game, the Powerade play of the game. But first and foremost, we got to answer the trivia question.
All right.
If you weren't with us earlier in the third quarter, we honored Jimmy Lewis and his state championship, back-to-back state champion baseball team honored at halftime. But Jimmy Lewis also coached football here for 23 seasons. Against which opponent did Jimmy Lewis have the most wins as football coach?
I think this is a trick question, and it is Aquinas.
The answer is...
There you go.
Well done, AB. You know who's number 2 on the list? You want to take a guess?
West Side, maybe? I don't know. I'm trying to think who they would have played. Washington Wilkes, maybe? I don't know.
Cross Creek.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Congratulations, you're back on the
back
saddle.
on the winning track here. I like it.
Speaking of the winning track, Aquinas trying to do just that in this final 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Franklin keeps. Franklin in trouble, and down he goes at the 10-yard line.
I hear Kira on the sidelines asking about trivia.
She only hears it when
she gives me a hard time when I miss. I got a difficult one and got it right, and she wasn't even paying attention.
She only listens when you miss it.
Oh yeah, if I'd have missed it, I would have heard about that. Well, this is I'm not stunned if Aquinas holds on and wins this game. I'm stunned at the way it's played out, that they've been able to shut out Harlem. And
I think
really,
the goose egg on the Harlem side is
it's a stunner, yeah. And really the whole way the game's been played, because Harlem's defense has played pretty well too.
Yeah, it's been some very good defense from Aquinas, but there's been some lack of execution on the Harlem side as well.
And again, these guys have not been able to practice a whole lot leading into this game, both teams. And I think it showed a little bit tonight.
Well, we talked about the Harlem baseball team at halftime, back-to-back state champions. The Aquinas girls soccer team saying, wait a minute, what about us? How about the Aquinas girls soccer team going back-to-back? Take you back to May 7th in Macon, beating Lake Oconee Academy 2-1 in the Class A Division II state championship. This is an Aquinas team that went 0 for 2022, 0 for 2022, and then 24-5 and 2 state championships over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
Yeah.
Some hitting going on out there in that soccer match.
Yeah. All right, 3rd and 4. Cates again, I believe, and now Harlem with another big stop. And this, again, we mentioned it a couple of times. This Harlem defense.
I think you go for this.
Yeah.
Harlem defense is keeping them in the game, but yeah, I'd almost be shocked if James Leonard does not go for it.
I think you go for it, and I think you trust Franklin if you need to throw it. I don't think that's.
I think he's too afraid of another block.
I agree.
Don't want to create a block where they run it back and give them some kind of momentum.
Yeah, and I think if you don't feel like you can run it here, I still think you trust Franklin to throw it on 4th down, because if you don't get it, the clock stops anyway.
Harlem calls its third and final timeout with 3:05 left to play. Give us a chance to remind you once again, as our area continues to recover from Hurricane Helene. Take a look at your screen. We'll put the QR code up there one more time that you can take your phone, take a picture of that QR code. It'll take you to our website and give you all the resources you need. And any way you can volunteer or donate, it's all right there on your screen as we continue to recover together from Hurricane Helene.
Maybe a rollout and a flare to the running back again.
On 4th and 8, Franklin looking, end zone, broken up, and Harlem has life.
Harlem will get the ball back. They have no timeouts in 3 minutes, and they need 2 scores. So let's see. Baylor Davis is coming to the sidelines. If I'm Harlem, I'm telling him to go out there on offense. Although you probably have to throw, even though Baylor Davis picked up a ton of yards running the ball. So they're going to have Barton come back in.
2:57 and no timeouts.
And again, if you're Aquinas, and I'm sure they've done their homework, I've got Futrell in my sights here. I'm not going to let him beat me. And they're going deep.
Caught it.
And what a pass and what a catch. Great job by Ronald Oliver. In heavy coverage, and Oliver comes down with it at midfield.
Well, Barton had thrown the deep ball several times tonight, not been unable to hook up, but this time right on the money to Ronald Oliver. Good throw.
We have said he's had the touch downfield all night as Barton. And now he has his Bulldogs 50 yards away from it. Dangerous pass there, incomplete.
Yeah, overthrew his target that time. And that's been the story of the passing game for Harlem for the most part tonight. Overthrows from Arroyo and that time Barton.
Clock stops, 2:40.
Yeah, that last play is probably the one time Coach Leonard's been upset with his defense tonight.
Yeah.
3 guys, and he let him get behind him.
Barton has to get rid of it. It'll be 3rd down, 2:35.
Well, this is the time of the game where Jaden Worth can sort of lick his chops and come after the quarterback. You know he's throwing every down, and you watch Harlem is dedicating 2 people to him, and maybe that opens up somebody else on the defense. Big 44, he's on the far side of the field at defensive end. Let's see if they go one-on-one, and they had a running back chip him there.
They put 2 people on him, too. And there is another wide-open receiver. It's Oliver again. In for 6. Harlem on the board.
Wow. I mean, no offense all game, and then 2 big passes to Oliver.
Almost 100 yards worth of throws from Mercer Barton to Ronald Oliver on 2 plays. And with 2:23 to play, Harlem trying to get within 5.
Yeah, and so some of these drives now where Aquinas unable to come away with points, whether the block kick or missing on 4th down, now they loom large.
Holder. Point after is good. 12-7.
And if you're James Franklin or James Leonard, you're thinking, man, it's never easy.
No.
These things are never easy.
Yeah, and you got to onside kick this football because you got no timeouts, even though you got 2:23. So you'd be, even if you got a 3 and out, you'd have under a minute left.
Yeah, onside kick coming for sure.
This was a 5-point game a year ago. It is a 5-point game with 2:23 to play.
Yeah, a little bit different script, but the outcome, similar.
It was 47-42 last year.
Wow, 2 huge pass plays. And you're right, they double teamed, big man Worth to give him time to throw, and he's able to get it downfield to a wide open wide receiver. So they will.
And as Nathan said, they will onside kick it here.
It'll be Will Holder doing the honors here. Maybe not.
Nope.
Oh, they do onside kick it. One of the other players kicked it.
Yeah, tried to trick him. And with the good hands was Greg Doman.
So Aquinas has the football, 2:20 to go.
And Harlem with no timeouts.
Yep. So they're going to have to try and strip this football. Because even if you stop them 3 and out, they're going to be able to eat up so much of the clock. Now, one thing I'm sure that the Aquinas staff preached to their guys, if we run it near the sidelines, do not go out of bounds. You've got to, they've done that twice tonight in situations where they should not have. You got to fall down inbounds.
Aquinas trying to improve to 3-2, 2-1 in the region. And hand Harlem its first defeat of the season. And Harlem's defense stands up on first down.
Yeah, that swarming Harlem defense we talked about in the pregame, you got a chance to see it there. But the problem for Harlem is the clock.
Number in the middle at the bottom of your screen.
Right. Under 2 minutes now, and the clock is running.
Harlem can take all the time in the world. We can't see the play clock from where we are.
Yeah, the play clocks I don't think are functioning tonight.
Oh, there we go. That would be why we can't see it. Franklin tiptoes through, close to midfield.
Look at him carrying the
pile. And he is just pushing the pile and still pushing and still
Clock
pushing.
is ticking.
And the first down, and that should do it.
He's still up.
He is still on his feet. What a run by James Franklin. I've never seen anything like that.
I thought they would blow it dead, and he just kept moving the pile, and he is pumped up, and it's a first down. And, with the clock situation, unless they turn it over, that ends it right there.
They can go into victory formation.
How about that run? Have we ever had that type of play be play of the game where no touchdown, no nut?
But you carried an entire team for 30 yards.
You had Worth in there pushing him as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Well, as Aquinas goes into victory formation, I want to say a quick thank you to our crew, our director, Josh Recor, our replay coordinator, Thaddeus Borium, graphics tonight, Micah Webb, on audio, as always, Jeff Singleton. Our camera operators this evening, Cameron Belcher, Brianna Butler, Katron Hugie, and Gary Nipple. Rodrigo Burgos working the sidelines for us tonight as our producer, Ashlyn Williams. Our red cap, Krishana Brown. In the live truck, Ian McLeod. And Philip Scott and Mr. Control, Jarrett Ledger. Our production manager, Lauren Fitzgerald. Our production timer, Andrew Robertson. And running the scoreboard up here right to our left, the great Adam Karstens. And that ought to do it. The Aquinas Fighting Irish, in their first time playing Harlem as region foes, come into Bulldog Country and come out a winner. Final score, Aquinas 12, Harlem 7.
Yeah, great win for Aquinas. They came out tonight. The defense was outstanding. They're a different team with Jaden Worth out there, obviously, and they made enough plays offensively to get a lead and able to run the clock here. And a big play there. Talk about fighting Irish, fighting on that last first down for Franklin.
And Kira Goldstein is on the sidelines with the victorious head coach of the Aquinas Fighting Irish, James Leonard.
Coach, exceptional play on both sides of the ball. What are you pleased with as you take down an undefeated team?
When you lose a player like Jack Rhodes, finding a way to win the game. Like guys like Daryl Gibson stepped up huge. C.J. Wilkerson on that catch late was big. Jim running hard. Our running backs, our offensive line dug deep. And then again, every week our defense shows up. So just really proud of our whole team, our whole staff.
Jim threw for over 170 yards, but that last play where they were basically carrying him halfway down the field, what was so exceptional about him tonight? What can you speak to about his game?
Oh, that kid's tough. He's one of the toughest kids I've ever coached. No quit. Very proud of the offensive line finishing that drive with him, finishing that play with him. But yeah, just all around proud of our guys. Hats off to Harlem. Every year we play Harlem. It's a great game. Coach Boyder and his staff do a phenomenal job, and so we'll see what happens the rest of the way.
It's been a tough time for the community. What does it mean to you to get this win for them?
Yeah, I know. It's great to get back out here. Good crowds from both sides. It's awesome atmosphere like every time we play Harlem. Great people out here in Harlem. So, it's great to get everybody out of the house.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Congrats on the win. All right, guys, we'll send it up to you, and then we'll get going on players of the game.
Yeah, thanks, Kira. Congratulations to Coach Leonard. And Kira's right. We've got the post-game show coming up. We'll have our hit of the game, our Powerade play of the game, and name our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Once again, your final score, Aquinas 12, Harlem 7. Post-game show coming up. Welcome back to Harlem, where the Aquinas Fighting Irish are a winner tonight, handing Harlem its first loss, 12-7, the final. And speaking of final, our final QBs by the quarter of the evening, brought to you by Culpeper Lumber Ace Hardware, Nathan Edwards.
Yeah, Barton definitely came in there for Harlem, sparked him a little bit there, especially right at the very end. He was 6 of 14 for 107 yards and a touchdown. And then Franklin for Aquinas had a great night tonight, 12 of 19, 172 yards passing and a touchdown, and he also added 30 yards on the ground.
And time to hand out some hardware now. Back down to the sidelines, Kira Goldstein with our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game.
Yeah, guys, we're going to start on offense with the man of the moment, Jim Franklin. Jim, a big night for you, 172 yards and a touchdown. Plus, they carried you halfway down the field there at the end. What was working for you on offense?
Just all of our guys playing together. Jack, great receiver, great teammate, went down, so we had to step up, next man up mentality, and that worked for us.
Coach called you one of the toughest guys he's ever coached. What does that mean for you to hear that?
There have been a lot of tough players, but, the award should go to my team. We all fought hard. We're all tough, so that's what I'd say.
You had a couple days off with the hurricane and coming out here and getting the win for the community. What does that mean to you?
It's great. Hurricane impacted a lot of people, and it devastated a lot of people, but happy to be out back playing and getting the win.
All right, a big win for you. Congrats. That is for you. We're going to move on over to Jaden Worth on defense. Jaden, defense really stepped up tonight. Almost held Harlem scoreless. What was working for you so well on that side of the ball?
Relentless effort. All 11 hats to the ball, and we came out firing, and that's what helped us on defense.
Coach said he was really, really pleased with the defensive effort, and he was really impressed with the way that you all stepped up and worked together. How was that team chemistry on that side?
We all worked together. We practiced all week for this. We knew this was going to happen. Maybe other people counted us out, but us as a team knew this is how we were going to come out and this is how we were going to get this win.
I'm going to ask you the same question. It's been a hard time for the community. What does it mean for you to come out here and get the win for the Aquinas community?
Just shows our heart and that we play for our community and our love for the Aquinas family.
Awesome. Well, congrats on the win. Thank you both so much. A great game. John, AV, we're going to send it back up to you. Good night from down on the field.
All right, Kira, thanks. Great job. And Jaden and Jim, congratulations on offensive and defensive players of the game. AB, just an incredible performance by both.
Yeah, it was. The Aquinas defense was outstanding tonight. This is a pretty good Harlem offense that's been able to kind of have their way in most of their games, and Aquinas really shut them down. And even with Harlem getting great field position throughout the game. And then, of course, Jim Franklin, this was the best he had looked this year, throwing the football. At the end, you saw his heart and how hard he's going to fight to try and win with that run. Just a quality game tonight from Aquinas. And for Harlem, that's Mark Boyders. These are two good football teams. It was just a rough night offensively. I think once they get back in the swing of things, practicing on a regular basis, they're going to improve that. These are two teams I would not be shocked to see in the postseason.
Yeah, you bet. And we're not done with the accolades just yet. Let's take a look at our hit of the game. And this was,
I think, Rod Anderson.
The second half, yeah. And so Harlem didn't get the win, but Rod Anderson with the hit of the game with the big stick on the punt return. And that brings us to our Powerade play of the game. And without a lot of offense in this one, we'll see what we've chose.
Yeah, hard.
Yes.
I love it.
Let's do it.
So he started at the 50. That's where it looked like he was down.
Uh-huh.
And let's see how many extra yards he gets. There's 5.
Now, right around here, we were saying that's a first down.
There's
the game's
10.
over.
There's 15. Yeah. There's almost 20 yards after they had him down.
Once Worth hit the pile, it's picked up speed.
That was outstanding.
So the Powerade play of the game basically goes to the entire Aquinas offense, just pushing him down the field. And, of course, Jim Franklin was the McDonald's player of the game. Hey, fellas, enjoyed it.
Yeah,
good
to be back.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. I hope everybody, those of you at home, enjoyed watching as much as we enjoyed being here and just feeling normal again for a few hours.
Getting back out here. That's right. I was excited. I was excited all day about it. Good to get out here and, like I said, good for the kids to get out and get to play. The cheerleaders, honoring Harlem's baseball team, all that. Terrific night.
Yep. So, Football Friday night coming up, 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. 30 minutes of highlights, a lot of great games across the area, a lot of great matchups, including the 378 war, Lincoln County and Washington Wilkes. And I have a feeling you Aquinas fans are going to want to tune in at noon on Sunday. High noon, the encore presentation of Game Night Live and the Irish win over these Harlem Bulldogs. So next week, Aquinas will go back home and face Baldwin. We will have these Harlem Bulldogs once again on Game Night Live. Another huge showdown as they face unbeaten Westside in a crucial 4 AAA matchup. That'll be a week from now on Game Night Live. For now, though, for Kira Goldstein on the field, Nathan Edwards, our statistician, AB, John Hart, saying thanks for watching. We'll see you 1 week from tonight from Westside.